Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review, Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 1, Winterfell, the feedback show. Welcome back here to talk about this episode of Game of Thrones and take your questions that you left either in the comment section of this video or left a voicemail or a text message. We're going to go through those questions. We'll also have the live motherfucking chat. But most of this will be about the comments left on this video or on the main recap video. I was going to do this early in the week, but this was one of those weeks that was a clusterfuck of epic proportion. You know when everything happens to just like ludicrous shit all expels at the same time? You know when you have a lot of really important stuff like Game of Thrones season when I wanted everything else in the world to just go away? But no, everything decided to just come holy hell this week. So I haven't been able to get out here as much as I wanted to. But I did want to make sure I got out here tonight to take some of these feedback questions. And yes, I'm alone tonight, but I won't be alone on every one of these feedback shows. Sometimes I will have guests. We got Broke, we got Big E, we got Casey Atheist, we got K-Rich in the live chat right now. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I could I could feedback foreplay you all night long here. You know I could. I could just jump right in your feedback faces. Who's the motherfucking guest? The motherfucking guest tonight is me. You just get me tonight. Our original guest for this week was a little bit MIA. I couldn't get in touch with him, so we'll figure something out. So we'll have someone else next week, and then someone else the week after, and blah blah blah. Maybe we'll check back in with that guest later in the season. If Broke could teleport, he's coming on in. Let me know. But for tonight, you just got me, unfortunately. This is like a combined show because I definitely like to do at least one show a week where it's just me babbling. So, yeah, you get me this week. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, let me turn off this fucking music and let's get into this crap. Give me a Cersei blow-up doll. Weird Al is the Weird Al Simpsons doll will be my co-host tonight. Oh, Phil! I'm Tech Air. Yeah. Weird Al, come on, buddy. I was surprised that they didn't talk about Littlefinger's death in episode 1. I think it was a little bit hinted at or understood in what Arya was saying to Jon about being the smartest person she knows. But I don't know. Again, I said that in the time and I'll say it again. It seems like that was a little hyperbolic in the moment. No, she is not the smartest person she knows. I mean, at least I don't think so. I think she's met a lot of smarter people. A couple of other people have talked about this in a couple of other places, but if you start listing all the people that Arya's known, and if you think that Sansa is the most intelligent of all, and this isn't gonna just be an opportunity to throw some shit more at Sansa. We've done that. We will continue to do that after episodes if it's warranted. But that's not necessarily what I mean. Sansa, take her out of the equation for a second. Or just say, okay, you accept that even people that love Sansa could accept that. We'll take our buddy Analysis of Thrones, who's probably the biggest Sansa supporter in the universe. And even he would probably say that, Jaqen Agar, just Tywin, or some of the other people that Arya's met along the way are probably a little bit more intelligent than Sansa. But, well, whatever, Well, we got Azora hype in the live motherfucking chat. I'm going to be calling Kyle to hopefully join me on one of these feedback shows a little bit later. Maybe I'll call Kyle for next week. But we'll see. We'll see about that. I will, but I'd love to have Kyle on one of these again this year. Okay, so Biggie, they should talk about it having Varys, Tyrion, and Jon back in Winterfell after all Littlefinger did. I'm sure Littlefinger will come up at some point this season. I would assume, especially with Varys making some reference to maybe him talking to Bran or something. I don't know, and having you were the man that outsmarted Littlefinger. I'm not a man. I'm not a man, just like you're not a man. But whatever. Mel LF, great to see Mel LF in the live chat too. Arya is Sansa's new hype man now. Awesome. I will touch base with you later, and Wednesday or Thursday of next week's evening, our guest on the feedback show will be Kyle, Azora Hype. So there we go. Done deal. I wanted to call you one week. That works, Kyle. Awesome. And then I can also say a couple of other guests we're going to have during the season, but we'll talk a little bit more about that next week, because I kind of know who is going to be our episode 3 guest. But yeah, you get me, you get a tired me from like a full day of work here. This is me at my lowest energy, where I'm just sitting there playing with putting weird. Why am I even putting this on? Why are you doing this with your voice? I don't know, Phil. Why are you doing this with your voice? Shut up. No, you shut up. You shut up. You shut up. Okay. Well, okay. Care to explain the Johnson shippers? I will say that the Johnson shippers had their biggest piece of little information, like in this past episode. The closest thing to anything that they're gonna read into it was, oh, your brother is when Daenerys walks up and Daenerys and Dany have their first bam bam thing. Bam Bam Bigelow thing going on, and she says, Daenerys says to Sansa, "You're just as beautiful as your brother said," or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. So there you go. Jon thinks Sansa's beautiful. There you guys go. There's some shit for your fucking to your pyre to convince me of nothing. No, so I think that's probably the closest thing. But there is no explanation to that. I agree. Johnson's just gross as Devin. There's Jackson Samuel in the live motherfucking chat. I love you guys. Ronnie Rollins, great to have all of you guys joining me tonight for this silly feedback show. Let me pull this stuff up. Oh, there we go. Let me open myself up to my Lannister love. Oh no, here we go. Here comes Tom to pee on our party here. Hey Phil, can you help me out? I made my good pal Skittles watch last night, and even though he was baked, he still ain't hooked. Well, I will tell Skittles then to watch something else. Not every show is for everybody. Not the answer you wanted. Okay, so let's get to our first. What should I do here? What the fuck should I do here? Let me play a. Hey, wonderful bug. Great to see you. Great to see Tom, the motherfucker, in the live chat. Anyone know what Cersei has set in motion to kill Dany? I don't know if she has anything set in motion. That's my problem with the Cersei story to a certain extent. Does she have an endgame plan with all of this? Or is she just being duplicitous or being evil for her own reasons? I don't know. She seemed to be okay with the wall falling down. Was that just her having attempted of a one-liner of like, oh, Cersei doesn't give a fuck? Or was it she has some plan in motion for the dragons? Is Qyburn working on 10 of those baristas things and putting them all? What is she serving coffee to the dragon, Phil? No. You know what I'm talking about. The harpoons, the dragon harpoons, and putting them around King's Landing. Does she have an endgame plan? Is she gonna use her wildfire trick on the White Walkers? Is that her plan? Oh, I'll melt them. That's what I'll do. It would be interesting to hear more about what Cersei's thinking. Oh, we got the lovely Renwood in the live motherfucking chat. I was just talking to Joe about you off air the other day. Lots of love to Renwood. Kevin, great to see Kevin as well. Qyburn said Cersei had other plans for Dany. What's he when he was talking to Bronn? I think her other plans are probably a torture plan of some sort when she gets her. I don't know if she has any specific plan to kill Daenerys. Maybe she has someone on the inside. If I'm going to the next level, could she somehow convince Tyrion to try to do it? I don't know. That's stupid. But I don't know. Maybe she has some sort of plan. Maybe it's through Daario. I don't know. Some people have speculated that he's coming over as well, and somehow is working with the Golden Company. I don't see that happening. I want to say that she probably has some sort of plan in motion. I don't know exactly what it is. My assumption would be kill the dragon, and then the princess is easy to destroy, and then torture her, capture her, and torture her in the dungeons or something like that. I don't know if it's a more specific plan than that. Maybe she has someone on the inside, possibly. Icy Fury, I'll be back in 25 minutes later, motherfucking chat. Timo, we were just talking about your favorite character, Sansa. Hello to everyone, Lady Laura, Dane, Starfall, Timo in the live motherfucking chat. Biggie, Qyburn said to Bronn that Cersei has plans for the Dragon Girls. I can see the Cersei hiring a faceless man to kill her, but the faceless man, because of Arya, will kill him and save Dany. I don't know if is Cersei smart enough, or I guess because she's hired the Golden Company and she's heard stories about. I'm sure she's heard stories about the Faceless Men too. That would be an interesting thing if she hires the Faceless Men to kill Daenerys. That'd be cool. Torture. Yeah, that's what I'm with Lady Laura Dane Starfall. That I think what she's talking about in that moment is or what Qyburn's talking about in that moment is she plans to capture her and torture her. She wants her brothers to die from this crossbow. She wants Daenerys to die from being tortured to death while while being bathed in dragon blood or drowned in her own dragon's blood, or I don't know. It's some elaborate scheme. You know what I want to do? I'm gonna kill her dragons. Then something that Joffrey would think up. You know. Callie, fucking Callie. If Cersei hired her faceless men, she'd keep that shit to herself. Oh, we got the secrets of the Citadel in the live chat. Great to see Gemma, and lots of love to Gemma as well, who I might also call this season to be on a feedback show. I wonder if Cersei's plan for Dany involves wildfire. Not, of course, realizing that the show Dany is fireproof. Yeah, that's the one thing that hasn't been mentioned to Cersei yet, that Dany has that fireproof magic trick. So she could think the wildfire, and this is a question for Gemma in the live chat, or has wildfire ever been used against dragons in combat in Westeros, and how effective has it been or not effective at all? So I'm not familiar with a lot of that. Something doesn't pop to mind immediate. So if anyone in the live chat knows that kind of information, I'd love to know that. Good to see everyone with us in the live motherfucking chat. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm on left for rooting for Gilly to take the Iron Throne. Have we come to rooting for Craster's bastard wives for the win? Awesome, Gemma. I'll be touching base with you very soon. Phil. Oh, Ronnie Rollins is threatening me with a good time. Oh my God. Oh my. Oh my. I need a Takei to pop up here. Okay, so not as far as we know, not recorded. Okay, so I'm not just blanking on it. There's Targaryens are not fireproof. Dany is a little bit though. Dany's fire resistant. It's like those old 80s watches buddies talker. It's not waterproof, it's water resistant. Cersei may use wildfire on the White Walkers. We have seen the White Walkers walk through. Well, that's a lot of walking. We have seen Shirley pick the peck of pebbles. She could use the wildfire on the White Walkers, but we have seen White Walkers walk through fire. Yeah, and specifically in Dany and show Dany has shown to be fire resistant. So let's get to a freaking voicemail here. Now there's two voicemails that I have right here that are very awesome voicemails, especially for our old-time listeners here. So I want to wait to play these till the show on Sunday because a lot of it has to do with Joe and Katie. But just for a hint, and I guess I'm not very big on a teaser, but teaser for this coming Sunday. In fact, we have 6 minutes of the one, the only.
Too late. It's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm a woman in love. Phil, it has been so long since I have called you,
Emily,
big, beautiful Joe Dirty Locks, and beautiful Katie. She is now showing her face. You tell her, this is Emily. It has been a long time. My health was not good for a while now. I don't think we actually have spoken since 2015. Coincidentally, that was season 5 of Game of Thrones. And look, I'm just going to be really honest with y'all right now. I'm just going to cut to the chase. First of all, thank you for what you are doing. It is fantastic. I'm in the middle, honestly, of y'all's review. I'm at 58 minutes and 16 seconds. Joe, this is some damn fan service bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I mean, I'm pissed off. I mean, listen. I've got to rewatch the episode.
So I am going to save this message. I listened to this. This is a hot message. We got 2 hot messages from Emily. Emily, I'm not cutting you off. You're listening to this podcast. But I know a lot of this has to do with talking to Joe and Katie and myself. And you are a old time friend. So we're going to hold this one off specifically for Joe Dirty Locks coming up very soon. So make sure you tune in. I'm not one for the tease, but there's a little tease. Emily's back and she's hot and I can't wait to hear it. So we're going to come back, and lots of love to Emily from any health situations. We're glad you're doing better and able to call back in on the show. I can't believe it's been that long, but you're always one of our legendary callers from way back. Emily calling it as she sees it. It's going to be great. And I know it has been that long. It's amazing. Phil, you need to do more live streams with Preston. You're the Mountain Day Avenue Costello. I cracked up the whole time. Thank you, Corey Mitchell. I'll be joining them again, I think, this Sunday on at 6:30, moderating the chat again, and that should be a very good time. So that won't be the only time. Whether it's this week or one of the other weeks this season, that won't be the only time I get to do that. So, Corey Mitchell, thank you so much. I'll send your check for saying those positive things. So here's a message from area code 360.
Hey Phil, so freaking happy to be back with you guys again. This is Zancy. I just wanted to, well, first of all, happy birthday, Katie. But I kind of just wanted to riff on Sansa for a second. Arya's stupid. Sansa's the smartest person I know. Like, as of fucking when? When has Sansa ever shown her smarts? Last season, she said herself, I'm a slow learner. And then her stupid, I provisioned for 3 months, but I didn't account for 2 armies and 2 dragons. I really wanted to hear Jon say something like, well, either we all starve and some of us will live to see the summer, or we'll all have full bellies as the army of the dead slaughters us and brings us into their ranks. Other than that, Dany is just the epitome of an entitled millennial, and I can't stand it. Anyway, fucking great to be back with you guys again, and see you at the call-in show.
Nice. Great voicemail, my friend. Thank you for leaving one. And make sure all you guys know that you can call and leave a voicemail in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 781-990-8509. I mean, if you're drunk walking out of the bar and you just want to yell obscenities on a voicemail line, like, use this line anytime you want. The Issues Hotline. Talk to Littlefinger. It's amazing. I guess I love fan service. I said this from the beginning, Timo. I don't... And we'll get into this a little bit on Sunday with Joe. This last season, the way the direction that this show's gone, I want it all. Give me that fan service dick across my face. I don't care. Stamp me with it. If it's good, if it's entertaining, that's what I want with the final season of this show. And it's whatever. It's a final season of a show. They're not necessarily easy to do. They're compacting this to 6 fucking episodes when it should be longer, but I'll accept it. I'm in for the ride. I'm on the roller coaster. I am riding this thing. I want to see all the loops. I don't care. Give me the loop-de-loop. Give me the dippity-dip. Give it to me. Splash me with it. Give me the toboggan ride at the end where I get the water splashed all over. What's with these metaphors? Comparisons, whatever. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Dragonglass is a hell of a Bloody Talker. I love you, buddy. Oh my goodness. So what you're saying is you want boat sex with Game of Thrones fan service. No, bro, stop it. Dwarf Burger Swamp Beard. What's going on, buddy? Come on over. No, exactly. Sorry, I'm babbling on this. I'm having fun with it at this point. For a television show to go out is a difficult thing for it to go out and hit on all points and be textured and be deep. And I think at one episode into the season, I'm curious to see how the direction it's going to go and how much they're going to compact all of the action in one big middle episode with a lot of action. Are there going to be a couple of peaks here, or is this all going to be leading downhill to one peak? I don't know. It's gonna be fun, and like I said, I'm in for the ride. Okay, let's scroll through here these motherfuckers chats. Oh yes, oh motherfucker. Yeah, we got. Oh holy shit, we got Carmine in the live motherfucking chat too. Great to see Carmine. We were just talking about Carmine in the chat a few minutes ago. He could feel it. So let's listen to another voicemail here. This is from area code 561. Area code 561. Here's your voicemail.
Hi there. Lovely voicemail. This is the girl Nettles. So my gripes are, since now it's been a few days, everyone has had time to absorb the first episode. I am pissed at everybody who is hating on Dany now. People are taking up for Sansa and bashing Dany, especially about this Tarly situation, which I am very upset about because I feel like now that's going to be the premise for episode 2 is now everyone's going to be mad at Dany for executing the Tarlys, which to me, those motherfuckers wanted to die. Like she said, bend the knee. You were fucking conquered. You need to bend the knee. They bent the knee to Joffrey. They bent the knee to Baratheon. They bent the knee to Aegon the Conqueror. They can bend the knee to Dany. She fucking won that loot train fight. But instead of doing that, even when Tyrion offered them the wall, that bitch ass said no. That was suicide. They wanted to die. Why should Dany be vilified for that? Why should Dany be made to look like a monster? Literally, people are calling Dany a monster. The woman who freed slaves, the woman who has not done anything wrong, in my opinion, this whole time. So that's my main gripe. I feel like the fandom is divided between Dany and Sansa. Fuck Sansa. People trying to say Sansa's smart. They're trying to paint her as a new queen. I feel like the showrunners are trying to set her up to be the new queen of Westeros. But fuck Sansa. If Sansa was smart, she would have left with the Hound during the Battle of the Blackwater. If Sansa was smart, she wouldn't have went to Cersei and snitched on Ned, got him killed. If Sansa was smart, she would have went off with Brienne instead of staying with Littlefinger to get her ass raped by Ramsay. So no, Sansa is not smart, and no, Sansa is not better than Dany. So that's my fucking gripe. Number 1, fuck the Tarleys. They deserve to die, fucking suicide bitches. And number 2, Dany's better than Sansa. Message. And anyone who says otherwise can end up like Reek.
Oh, dickless. Oh my goodness. Good message. Oh, that deserves this award of the night. That deserves our Timo rant of the night. Yeah, that's It's Timo's rant of the night. It's Timo's rant of the night. Fuck Sansa. Oh my goodness. Fuck Sansa. Oh my goodness. It's Timo's rant of the night. 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 It's the rant of the night. Go Ramsay. Go Ramsay. Go Ramsay. Oh my. Wow. Okay, so I want to hear what the live chat thinks about that voicemail. I think everyone is also popping in. I'm going to read some of the chat comments live. What's Phil the Issues Guy, what's the best thing about episode 1 in my opinion? The whole end section with Sam finding out about what happened to his family, ironically from the call that we just got. But finding out about that information, his acting and then I really like the scene between him and Jon afterwards. And then also Bran's line about, I'm waiting for a friend, creepy Bran. And then cutting to Jaime arriving. Forget all the callback bullshit. I just mean from a comedic standpoint of Jaime going, what the fuck? I think I saw someone make a combination video with the Curb Your Enthusiasm music right there or something. Dun, 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 dun. It's just worst case scenario. You just look up, and even if Bran's not in there anymore, he's like, Bran not here, man. I cannot not believe there's something. Oh, did I say the right amount of knots there? Whatever. I can't. It's hard for me not to believe that some part of Bran, the real Bran, is inside there being like, I'm gonna, even though I'm not mad at him and we need this guy and I'm gonna let him off the hook in the next episode, I want to fuck with him a little bit. I just want to fuck with him. So I keep thinking that too, Callie. Yang It Yin said the Night King is just disgruntled Stark, which was denied his place in the crypts. All he ever wanted was a cool statue. All I ever wanted was a cool statue, dude. Dany is not keeping true to her word, though, says Callie. Callie the Triggerman says, I think Dany is going to get a troll death. A commander will shoot her with an arrow. Devin Cross says, oh, I'm bashing Sansa and Dany. They both suck. Timo says, let's just dumb all the characters down and say Sansa's the smartest to make Sansa's splainers feel validated. Biggie says crows before hoes, John. They bent the knee to Cersei, talking about the Tarleys. Lots of love going to Girl Nettles for her message. She could have just burned one prisoner or the other. She could have just burned Randall and just said and grabbed Dick on. Can I say Dick On's name without having to say it? Grabbing Dick on. Stop that. Don't play that. Dworkin says, Dwarfburger says Daenerys is a monster. I don't think anyone likes Sansa. If you do, don't be afraid to bring it up in the live chat. Oh, I see we got a couple of super chats. We'll get to them in 1 second. Thank you, guys. Fangirl calling in. Long love Sansa. Sansa will survive while your faves will die. Red team in the live chat. Fuck Sansa. I'll take the L on that. Carry out the deed. Dany burned food rations. Pablo says, I love Sansa and Dany. We got Pete Easy in the live motherfucking chat too. We got the Bloody Talker. Long live the Lannister banners team. Cersei, thank you, Bloody Talker. I will owe you a drink right now. And the memes are hilarious. Oh, and Azora hype gives my Canadians dollars sucks, but let's start a donation train for Phil. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kyle. You were the fucking best motherfucker. Pete Easy, lots of love to you, buddy. Jay says, I think Bran cares about what I don't think Bran cares about what Jaime did anymore, or he owes Jaime for helping him become the free. That's what I've been saying for years. That Bran is going to thank him. There's going to be a thank you. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be, thank you for allowing me to become the three-eyed raven. Some may think I might be mad at you, but I say thank you for allowing me to become the three-eyed raven. Some shit like that. There's nothing to forgive. Free Ghost. We will see Ghost this season. We got to see him. They're not going to not have, even if they have him go off where Jon lets him go into the wild. Joins the Moon Pack. Joins the Moon Pack. What's the Moon Pack? Wait, what's the Moon Pack? The Wolf Pack. Bran makes me want to be a bully, says Dwarfburger. Morning, Mayan. Great to see you. Me too. Dickens song again in my dreams. Darn Dickens song, it'll haunt my dreams. I worry for anyone that's happy in the show. Happiness is the fastest way to die in this show. Timo, lots of love. New York Kia in the live chat too. Lots of good friends tonight. Popped on in, hanging out. Thanks for allowing me to become the three-eyed raven, where no one knows who I am. Okay, so I'm going to save Emily's 2 messages for the voicemail show, but we do have a bunch more text messages we're going to play right now, or read. Now, this is from area code 973. This one is it's directed at Carmine in the live chat. No, it's not, but is Littlefinger still alive? Or the question is chances Littlefinger is still alive. So I'm going to do this out of 100 side buttholes, we'll say. I'd say there is a 10% chance. No, not even. On the show, obviously the show, because Littlefinger's alive in the other situation. On the show, I'd say there's a 5% chance Littlefinger's alive. I don't think Littlefinger was a faceless man, even though that's an easy out for some of the bad writing choices or story directions that they chose last season. And I'm not going to bash. I'm just saying that Littlefinger was forced to be dumbed down to have to be destroyed because if they allowed him to be true Littlefinger, he would have been long gone once Bran came back and once the Starks came together and he knew it was up against it and he wouldn't have tried to do or maybe once he tried, he would have been out a couple times or just would have been able to maneuver that situation a lot differently and just wouldn't have handled it. I mean, he didn't. The minute Bran said to him that thing with the whole dagger, gave him back the dagger, and Bran says the chaos is a ladder to him and all that sort of shit, real Littlefinger, the Littlefinger we saw for most of the seasons of this show, would have been out of there immediately. Like, ran for the fucking hills. Be like, fuck this. I'm out. I'm hiding in the Vale. Peace the fuck out. And he would have been gone. That's what I say. Winter is here. Tyrion will betray Dany and Jon. There was some talk about what Cersei's plan is. I don't know. I'm not sure if Tyrion... I don't know what they're going to do with Tyrion. I think the Bran look on Tyrion definitely foreshadows some sort of bad fate for Tyrion. And I always thought Tyrion was on that safe list of if anyone survives this, it's going to be him. But who knows? Free fucking Ghost. Where is Ghost? I want Ghost, motherfucker. The FX supervisor said we will see Ghost in season 8. Yeah, I heard that as well, Gemma. So I think we are going to see him. How much? But the way that's been said is so... Like, it seems like it's going to be piddly. It seems like we're going to see an aside from Ghost for a second. But I hope I'm wrong. This is one of those things that 100% I hope I hope 100%. I was going to say 100% I hope I'm 1,000,000% wrong. Okay. Whatever. That's a lot of percents. I'm adding a lot of freaking percents here. But it's my party. I can cry if I want to. Whatever. I hope it's not just a glorified cameo of Jon's riding the dragon and he looks down and sees Ghost on the ground. So they could use like an actual size dog and just have it be from like a sky perspective so they don't even have to do too much visual effects on it. But I hope so. Linda R in the live chat. Good to see you lurking in there. Oh, yeah. I love it. Love those lurkers. Love those ninjas. We'll see a portrait of Ghost. Yeah, we'll see the Winterfell artist working on a portrait of Ghost from the portrait's perspective. Ghost will be just posing somewhere. We'll see. Ghost will be like posing on a hill. It's like, and we see it from the opposite perspective. Hi, Ghost. Okay. So, but yeah, chances Littlefinger is alive on the show. Less than 5%. I'm gonna give it a little bit because that faceless men thing is somewhat clever, but no, I don't think that's the case. I think they just had to nerf his powers a little bit. They Peter Petrelli'd him a little bit and to take him down. In reality, Jaime would get killed in Winterfell, but this is TV. Jon looks at a painting of Ghost. I hope Cersei gives up the baby to the Night King and saves everyone. Cersei for the win! Cersei wins at everything. Drogon bites off Sansa's head. I'm calling it. Okay, so I don't think in episode 2 anything huge is going to happen like this. But do any of our Starks die in the Battle of Winterfell? Does Sansa not make it? Possibly. Could she be one of the casualties in that situation, or is Sansa going to be safe until the end? What are some people's opinions of that in the live chat? All what we're saying with all of what's going on in this opposition, is it going to end up being that, or once she sees the army of the dead, is she going to be 100% behind anything Jon says? Is this one of those things that people need to see to understand what kind of threat this really is? And I don't want to throw all this shit on her, but there's some element of being happy that you have more people to fight. I also think all those Unsullied are going to be dead and then turn into members of the army of the dead. It's going to be great. No elephants. Boo. No Starks will die. Hodor and Summer as Whites will scare all the remaining Starks. Arya dies, says Broke. Says Fandom Desaint. Jon's dragon will eat Ghost. That would be a funny situation. I do want to see Johnny and I's scenario play out in reality and see Ghost and Drogon look at each other one-on-one. But it wouldn't be. It would be Rhaegal. I believe I'm pronouncing that incorrect. But the other one, not Drogon, the other one, Jon's dragon, his daddy, Jon's fucking daddy. Arya is the wild card. No Starks will die. No elephants. Is no elephants any precursor to some sort of Blackfyre Targaryen connection, and they are going to switch sides so they didn't want to bring their full forces to fight against Dany, or is it just for CG purposes and not wanting to use elephants? I think the latter is probably true. Or both things could be true. Sansa will be kidnapped. Interesting. Aaron Rodriguez says Jon rides Ghost riding Rhaegal. That's what we all want right at this point. Fan service up my ass. Give it to me. Like, again, slap me with it, spank me with it, push it inside me. I don't care. I want it. So So yeah, that's the dream scenario, right? Like Ghost is on the back of on Rhaegal with Jon. Come on, give it to us. Give it to us. Why didn't I get a notification? Angel B is there. Angel B for a super chat donation. Thank you, Angel B. I think this is my fault on this if people didn't get notifications because I made this event a while ago thinking I would be doing it on Wednesday or Thursday evening, but because of some misconnections with my guest host, the event just kept getting pushed off and going past the time it was supposed to start, and I just kept it on unlisted. Like too much, I know way too much information here. So then when I finally made it go live, I think it was after the fact, so people may have not gotten notifications because they've given up on it at this point. You know, the magic wizards that handle how this stuff gets distributed have decided that because this thing didn't start and it's supposed to time too many times, it's no way, it's over. Back in Roman days, a lot of animals died during the trip from one country to Rome. I left a voicemail to a drunk one. Awesome, Bloody Talker. We will get to this in 1 second. I'll take ice spiders over ghost. Will we see ice spiders? I think okay, if they're not giving us elephants, if they're not giving us another wolf pack or something, but we might see them. Ghost could have popped out of the cave sex scene. I think they missed and again, this is very minor complaints. I don't mean this as a huge, ridiculous complaint about the episode. I just mean I feel like they had several opportunities in this episode to have Ghost in the episode. He should have. There has to be a reason why he wasn't there to meet Jon. And it can't just be, and I don't want to hear frickin' budget. Like, is Ghost somehow offended? This needs to be dealt with. When Jon does go see Ghost, does Ghost have a sort of jealous moment where Ghost is avoiding Jon because Jon's becoming more connected to his dragon side rather than his wolf side? Can they play? Is there a reason? Because other than that, if Ghost is getting free reign of Winterfell, which I assume he is, or give me a line about Ghost out hunting or something. Like, give me something. And I don't know. It's not a big thing. It becomes now just a joke, free Ghost, where's Ghost? But it's like he's the Gendry rowing now, but I just think even just for the story, it makes sense for Ghost to be around. And maybe I'm just pissed off because I predicted Ghost would be in the first episode, so now it's like sour grapes. I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, man, they don't care, but he should be there to meet Jon, and maybe I'm giving it more credit than it is in the sense of putting meaning that Ghost is somehow, because he's connected to Jon, knowing Jon needs time to bond with his dragon, but I don't know. Blubbity blubbity. Yeah, we need a jealous Ghost moment. Budget. Carmine's right. Like that, I want to tell Carmine he's wrong, but he's right, and that's fucked though. This is the final season of Game of Thrones. You cut it down to 6 episodes. HBO, you're making hand over fist money in this. You're putting Game of Thrones, and I joke about this, but it's true. You're like Krusty the Clown with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is going on everything. Here, this is my Game of Thrones lighter. It's not really, but this is my Game of Thrones VGA wire. I mean, you're gonna see it. Game of Thrones glad bags. You're gonna see it on everything. HBO is gonna be making money off this shit forever, long past the point this final season ends. In perpetuity, HBO is gonna be making money off this shit on these spin-off series, on the movies, on the merchandising. Fuck them. This final season, I don't want to hear budget. Dan and Dave shouldn't have had a budget. HBO should have said, here, blank fucking check, motherfuckers. And this one, I guess I won't put on Dan and Dave. I'll put on HBO if they had all limited budget restraints for things like Ghost, who the direwolves, it isn't just a visceral thing like, where's Ghost? There is meaning to Ghost being around. And I fucking miss that a little bit, especially as Jon bonds with another animal. I think that creates some cool shit. But maybe, again, someone's going to say, they don't have enough time because there's only 5 episodes. We don't have time. We need to put in a Grey Worm and Missandei scene. We don't have time to have Jon have a moment with bonding his 2 animals together. That would be fucking cool and stupid and nature spiritual. But I fucking want it. I want it now. Where was my? Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Sorry, fucking. I'm such a joke.
Hey, Daddy, I want a gold macaroons and a million balloons and performing
Give it to me
bubbles
now!
and
Give it to me now! I want the world. Okay. So give me some Ghost. That's what I want. Ghost is out recruiting Nymeria in the Wolf Pack. If that's true, fuck yeah. Again, if this is a payoff, I got some Oreos. Oh, I got some Oreos. I get the fucking beer too. I get the I'm not drinking it right now, but I get the beer. 7 million in an episode. I'm pretty sure that goes to most. Game of Thrones breakfast cereal. Game of Thrones the coloring book. Game of Thrones the flamethrower. This one the kids really love. And get your own 3-eyed raven talking doll. Can I get the Dany and Sansa toilet paper, please? Please. Jon will either kill Ghost or Dany to ignite Lightbringer. Very interesting, Ren. I got some blackberry sandwiches from Highgarden to go with my Game of Thrones beer. Imagine if Arya was around for the Battle of the Bastards. She would wear someone's face and go free baby Rickon. It should be way more useful than Sansa. 7 million per episode. I'm pretty sure a good chunk goes to the 7 big actors. No, if we see Ghost, he will die. Timos like, Phil, don't ask to see Ghost because they're just going to kill him too. A Game of Thrones paternity tests on brand. Yeah, we got the Game of Thrones paternity tests. Now find out it was Jon Snow's father. Or yeah, you get like, if you are the father, it lights up like Jon Snow's face or something. No, I want it all. 7 million is cheap. It takes 200 million to make a modern day action movie. Peanut butter Oreos are the best though. What, you're alive? What's good to know? Good to see you. Got my Game of Thrones condoms for when I bone my relatives. Oh, talking about Timo. Oh, we got some love going on. Beer and Oreos. To be fair, Nathan B, half of that 200 million for an action movie usually goes to the Rock's food budget. I fucking love you guys in the live chat. You guys are amazing. Yeah, the Johnny Walker and stuff. Like, and HBO gets a piece of all of that. Don't think they don't. Don't think big HBO doesn't have their hand in the pocket of every sale that Game of Thrones merchandising happens. So I understand it. I get it. I know. I have a bad concept of money. You know, I'm just like, let's do it for fun. Like, whatever. I get it. I'm not good with the whole money thing. But I don't want to sacrifice in the final season any possible direwolf scenes. But okay, I've bitched about this enough. Let me play a couple more voicemails that we have from our good buddy, the bloody fucking talker. Let's play this message right now. Do it.
Hashtag Team Cersei. Shout out to all my lions in the chat. Fuck all the haters. Gonna fucking rain all over their motherfucking halls. Fuck Aegon, Jon, whatever the fuck his name is. Fuck Dany. Fuck Sansa. Fuck all them motherfuckers. They all gonna get some golden showers when my company rolls up on them bitches. Peace.
Oh my goodness, I like that. And this voicemail was brought to you by Varys' Condoms. They feel like they're not even there. Okay, couldn't get a better ad song. I was trying to find a better commercial song. I failed it good. But perfect. And then we have one more message from our good buddy Jay. So let's play Jay. Wouldn't be some voicemails without getting at least one in from Jay. So here we go. Our good buddy Jay.
Sir, okay, first of all, you have to admit that you know certain people aren't going to be fighting in the battle for Winterfell when it comes to the Starks. Sansa and Jon and Bran are not going to fight. You're going to see Arya and Jon out there. So how would she die in the battle for Winterfell? She wouldn't be in it. Maybe somebody.
I don't mean the battle. I mean in that kind of situation at the end of it all. Like if the White Walkers are able to advance quicker than they think, and somehow in the retreat, the innocents are attacked, or they raise some of the dead inside the crypts where they think that they're hiding in not necessarily in the crypts, but somewhere else where they think they're hiding in a safe place, and they're able to raise some dead. I'm thinking that maybe this turns into a bigger attack and comes out of nowhere before they have a chance to get some of the less able to fight people. I don't think Sansa's fighting in the battle. I think more how she overthrows Winterfell. or if she's a part of all that. So yeah, Jay. Let me play the rest of Jay yelling at me.
They will shoot her in the head, like, you know, like while the battle's going on, but that still doesn't mean she dies in the Battle of Winterfell. Also, to me, Sansa is basically a pompous, arrogant bitch. She is basically Ned. She is like the spitting image. She is a female version of Ned. All right, later.
Interesting. I think she's definitely taking the role of being, and I think this probably ends with her being the Wardeness of the North and embracing that role that you see for her. Yang It Yin, if the fortune teller Bran is able to see the future, why doesn't he tell everyone the results of the upcoming battle? I think because Bran looks back better than he looks forward. I'm not sure if he can truly tell the future. Can he? I mean, I guess he can time travel a little bit, but I think most of his powers are more going back or currently being able to see what's going on, not necessarily the future. So it's anticipating what the future is going to happen. But people can correct me if I'm wrong about his prophecy ability or his ability to look into the future. I think he does have that ability as well, foresight of some sort, but I think it's more his strength lies more in the past and the current. I want a montage of Arya and Brienne training the women of the girl in girls fight. Have you seen the picture of Lyanna Mormont in her armor? Sorry, no video for a second. Sorry, here I go. I'm back. There I am. I'm back. Sorry, there you go. Oh no, fuck. I was doing hippie activities while that camera was off. Fuck yeah, I'm loving all this Sansa hate and Lannister love. I'm getting my tinglies everywhere, says Timo. Bran is manipulating people. Everyone is just jealous of Sansa, says Killmonger. So let's listen. Let's read a couple more of our texts and clear off the deck, and then we're going to go into the YouTube comments on the video and get through this. Let's see. This is area code 631. Says Bran's fall from the tower propelled him to become the three-eyed raven. Do you think there will be a truce since Jaime indirectly helped Bran become who he is now? Okay, I've been talking about this for a while, and I don't want to blow my own horn, but I do think this is going to happen. I think everything's going to be coming to a head. I think it's almost predictable how this is going to go, and that means I could be 100% wrong. I think everyone's going to be yelling at Jaime, blah, 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 crazy, crazy, crazy. And Bran's going to interrupt and say, fuck this. No, like, no, I don't care what Jaime did. I don't care. He has a use in the war to come, and he can help us fight the Night King. Fuck all of you. Fuck all you all. Get Jaime out in the front lines. Like, I don't care. Put him in the vanguard. And Jaime says something like, "Surely there's better ways to kill me. You want me in the vanguard?" So listen for another callback. But whatever. I think Bran does ultimately in whatever scene of the episode deals with the Jaime stuff, I think Bran is the person that stops it. It's not going to be anything Tyrion says. It's not going to be anything Jaime says. It's not going to be anything Brienne says. Maybe Brienne to a certain extent, but I think it's more going to be Bran just being like, listen, we need this guy. He told Cersei to fuck off. He's truly into the battle. I saw him do it, or whatever. I think he's going to be fine. Bran is going to tell people he saved King's Landing, and Brienne will back up the story, and so will Bran. I think Bran needs Jaime for Act 2 in King's Landing. Also, the Rains weep, oh, their halls without those a soul to hear. Oh, yes, the Rains of Casper are playing in always. Bran will save our Jaime. He will, Timo. I've been saying it for a while. I'm blurry, and you're not stoned. Am I blurry? Am I all fucked up? Is my camera all messed up? Let me do one of these and try to get it back in. I don't think Bran will mention anything about Jaime pushing him. He'll keep it to himself. Jaime will have to hate from Dany for killing her father. I agree. I'm not sure if I think Bran might say something to him about it. Like, I don't have any time for this. I know what you're going to say, Jaime Lannister. I understand you're sorry, but I don't have any time for this. I'm off to remind you all that Sansa's the best and all your faves are shit. Goodbye, says Sand. Oh, yes. See, I love that. Bring the Sansa love. Sansa lovers don't feel like we're in an echo chamber here. If you want to defend some Sansa, pop it on in the chat. Leave me a voicemail about it. I will play it on the air. I am all for all opinions about everything. Okay, my camera's clear. Awesome. Okay. Seems like Bran always needs to stop Dany and Sansa from doing dumb shit so far. Yeah, every time I say the word ultimately. Sometimes, Tom, I'm just throwing it in to get you drunk. They all know that Jaime pushed Bran. He confessed to Catelyn. Okay, so it is common knowledge. He confessed it when he was a prisoner of Robb Stark to Catelyn when she beat the shit out of him with the rock. Right? That was that scene. And he very clearly, and it's not like she wouldn't have told Robb, and Robb wouldn't have spread that around, so people in the North and some of the lords in the North know what Jaime Lannister did. So I guess that is very true. Catelyn told Robb, and I'm sure Robb told other person. Exactly what Carmine's saying. Jaime killed Daenerys' father and tried to kill her. She has the right to be pissed, and she will. I think reasonably so. But I think I don't think there's no way in fucking Earth in Planetos. There's no way in Planetos that anything's happening to Jaime Lannister in this next episode from anybody at Winterfell. Jaime is skating through this with a smile on his face. I think that's a false. I think a lot of the trailer, and I haven't had a chance to do a breakdown video, so we'll consider this part of it too. I think when we see Jaime in that moment, I don't know how much of this episode is going to be so focused on Jaime dealing with it. I don't think it's going to be like a trial, for instance. It could just be Jaime getting some shit and trying to explain what's going on and then getting attacked from multiple places, like Dany interrupting him telling about Cersei to be like, I should just fucking kill you then. What use are you to me? One man? I thought you were the Lannister army, and since you're just one useless man to me, I might as well kill you for killing my father. And then everyone sort of jumps on board with that kind of situation. The only thing I've heard about this episode, and I can't remember exactly where I heard it from, but that most of this episode is going to all be focused in a singular location and have, like, where the fuck did I hear? And have like a theater-like feel to it. We'll see if that's actually true, but I want to say I heard that somewhere, but we'll get into this. Hax Dogma, just stopping in and say good to see you, Hax Dogma. Lots of love to him. Amazing Westboro coverage if you've never checked it out. So check out Hax Dogma if you have not, and hopefully I'll be able to do something with Hax at some point in the future. So great to see you. Yeah, Catelyn told Robb in season 2, confronted him, and yep, with Jaime and Grey Wind there. But Dany just killed Sam's dad and brother. She's a hypocrite. We should take the time to remember how lucky we are to be experiencing what is almost certainly the best series of all time. I say that a lot, that it's really fun to be, like, all the otherness aside, and it's fun to pick apart this show, fun to talk about it, fun to ask these questions, go down these rabbit holes. But it's exceptionally awesome. It'll be one of those things to be able to look back on, that to be in the eye of the storm of this when the series is coming out for all of it, instead of looking back and watching it through, because so much of stuff's being engulfed as these, whole seasons, and the medium of television consumption's changed so much. It's one of the last shows that really, I think, maybe, and we'll see if there's another show, but I'm not saying there's not going to be other great shows, but this concept of watching week to week and getting excited for something I think that might go away to a certain extent, and I think this will be one of those huge peaks of it, and I think it's a lot of fun to be in the storm of it. Great to see the Finn in the live motherfucking chat as well. Jaime did with the joust. Bronn saved him. Jaime confessed that he pushed Bran, never said why. Catelyn told Robb, but then Robb assumed it was because Bran saw Jaime with Cersei. So they added 22 minutes to episode 3, or am I wrong, says Angel. I saw that somewhere. I wasn't sure if it was confirmed or it was just some Photoshop thing that was put out there, but I did hear about that. Jaime charged at Dany on the field of fire in season 7 and Bronn saved him, says Santovia. And Red says they forgot about that. Yang It Yin, love that name. Robert Baratheon was not the only guy after Lyanna Stark. The Night King also had the hots for her and just wanted to get his bride from the crypts. Ooh, interesting. That's an interesting situation. Bro, you and Joe, not the same when the walking dick comes around. Hey, you don't say those words here. Scott, I think the first half of the episode will be drama with Jaime. Second half will be preparing for the battle. At the end of the episode will be the Night King and his horse and the dead army at Winterfell. Like the beginning of the end of the trailer. Like we'll see that shot at the end of this episode. where we see the horse step up. Tom, I will ride and rant like never before. Sansa seems more in control than Dany. I heard the last 4 episodes are supposed to be 120. Tom, I think Sansa brought up some valid points, like what do dragons eat? Well, I guess it's better to starve the dragons for fan servicey rides and saving the Uber kid, right? Of course, the Umber kid. Yep. I missed Westworld, bro. I'm very much looking forward to season 3. The show needs a montage when they're prepping. Everybody needs a montage. Even Rocky had a montage. Okay, let's read a couple more of our text messages. Let's see. This is This is from area code 201. When Qyburn told Bronn that Cersei has plans for Dany, what do you think she's planning? Does she have someone on the inside of Dany's circle who can betray or kill her? We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think it's possible, but I'm trying to think, who would it be? Who in that situation out of all of those people would be her in? The only person I could think that it could be would be Tyrion, but she's sending Bronn to kill Tyrion. So I don't know. Who could Dany possibly have? Who could Cersei possibly have on the inside that she's converted away from Dany? I don't know. I tend to think in that moment, as I mentioned earlier, Qyburn's just talking about Cersei's plans to eventually torture Dany, and the means of death isn't the crossbow, that she has a different plan for Daenerys. But it could be Tyrion, as Killmonger saying Tyrion. It could be there are whores everywhere, Tom. Tyrion, you snake. Oh, Tyrion. And this is from area code 617. Let's see. We got a couple here. In a certain situation, we as viewers must suspend disbelief. But how the hell did Theon get on his uncle's ship? And how did his and his crew take out those men without alerting the ships surrounding them? And how the hell did they get away? Plus, all of that because they're fucking ninjas. No. Well, all of Euron's shipmates don't have tongues. There's that, I guess. But good questions, all. Plus, they took the dragon flying scene straight out of Avatar or Harry Potter or Flying Hippogriff, but nice scene, I guess. It was a little excessively cheesy and a little fast. Again, if the season was longer and more detailed stuff and like going longer and we had more time to explore stuff, I would have liked a few episodes of Jon warming up to the dragon before he had a scene like that with Dany. And I understand the concept of having a scene like that, and you're supposed to see at a point in time where Jon's getting it quicker than Dany likes, and she's like, gets this look on her face like, oh, I gotta challenge him. and that's when they're playing like the tag sort of shit or whatever. And I get all of that. I get why you kind of wanted to put it in there. It's a little cheesy for my full liking, but it is what it is. That being said, I feel like they made the Jon dragon stuff a little quick of him riding a dragon like that. And it could have been a better lead up. We've seen it a couple times where the dragons leaned in on him a little bit, but it seemed like it was a big leap that it's just like, no, fly on me and stuff. Go ahead, do that. And I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more there, but whatever. You and Carmine both need to do reviews on American Gods. I've only watched the very first episode of American Gods, but I did not. I liked it, and it's definitely a series I'm going to watch at some point. The Bloody Talker says Sansa and Dany were acting very proud and arrogant. Do you know what happens to proud lords who don't bow? Rains weep on the motherfucker to Team Cersei. I love it. I love it in the live chat. I love you guys so much. Legendary Milk. The Iron Throne is actually Valyrian steel and could be used to kill the White Walker King. Oh. Okay, guys, I got to go. Great stream. See you on Sunday. Have a great one. Timo, lots of love. Love you, Timo. Theon is on steroids. We need a scene with Jon, then later in the season when he rides and won in battle. Exactly, Scott. That's why they need to put that scene in there, just so we can have the Night King and Jon face off later in a joust. It's almost like a video game where we have to have the scene early to get good at a certain tactic, so you use it in a boss battle later. I just think I start thinking about it in this story standpoint of bonding with the dragon and how, like, the process of that. But I guess it's a simple sort of thing. I don't know. Does Rhaegal become more loyal to Jon over time if Jon and Daenerys have any sort of conflict, or would that dragon turn on Jon easy right now? Is it going to get to a point where Jon somehow charms that dragon and completely bonds with it in the way that Daenerys is the mother of all those dragons, but she really bonds with Drogon. Let's be honest. She doesn't ride the other ones. Has she ever ridden Rhaegal? Rhaegal's like, Mommy never rides me. I'm yours now. I'm going home with you. If Dany and Jon had any sort of conflict, are we going to, because of this one ride, is Rhaegal going to side with Jon? I know it's a cheesy thing to talk about, but whatever. He will stay with Jon. I think so too. I think that's what we're being told. I think that's what we're going to be told. Rhaegal, as Dany says, Betha, stay with her mummy. She'll stay with her mummy. I don't know. I'm thinking she might stay with Jon if they have some sort of conflict. But whatever. I don't want to dwell too much on this. You should consider yourself lucky. At least your balls won't freeze off. Tyrion needs more wine. Theon's hair looked too good. Like he just shampooed and conditioned them shits. Killmonger, I won't lie, that thought did go through my mind at one point while I was watching. I was like, Theon's looking good. Or his hair is looking good. It's like flowing in the wind and such. It's good. Jon is the stepfather of dragons. I like that, Icy Fury. I really want the Hound to live and be happy and have lots of chickens. Dany's playing favorites. Dany does play favorites. She does. She's always been a Drogon. Drogon's her baby. A dragon only accepts one rider until the human dies. So, and that's what I mean, Girl Nettles. Does that mean that Rhaegal's now accepted Jon as its rider, and it's bonded with Jon now? Rhaegal looked at Jon like, Daddy. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. You and I'm seeing, or the nephew of dragons. Dany for life, Phil. I love it. I was pissed with Dany's reaction. Drogon stares into his eyes and Jon pet him. Rhaegal bows and lets Jon ride him. She just shrugs. What the fuck? Or the cousin of dragons. I love where Icy Fury's going tonight. Director says a scene will be worse than the Red Wedding. Any thoughts? Angel B, when someone says something like that on this show right now, and there's also been a couple of other things that have been said, that leads me to believe beloved character dies. Tyrion dies from surprise sort of reasons somehow. I don't know. Maybe Bronn does go through with it, and out of nowhere, Tyrion in a safe moment gets shot with a bolt of an arrow from Bronn. I don't know. It would be interesting to see what kind of... I don't like when people compare things like that, or when writers will say, oh, this is going to be as good as the Red Wedding, or this is going to be a battle as blow Hardhome out of the water. I think sometimes those things come when you least expect it. Let your material speak for itself in that way. Like, I don't want to... No, it's not. It's going to be... the hold the door moment was a big emotional moment. I guess that could be seen as a moment like that on the show, or Ned Stark or the Viper, all those moments. So, I mean, whatever. It's going to be another one of those big emotional moments. So, to me, that says Tyrion dying. If Tyrion dies, I stop watching Game of Thrones. Why did Sansa not have any reaction to seeing dragons? She did. She went, oh. And then she said, what do dragons eat? Fuck. Rhaegal might sense dragon blood in Jon. Tyrion and Sansa kill Jon and Dany and their baby. That would be horrifying death. Jaime dying is worse than any Stark dying. Bronn gets a crossbow. We see Jaime scream Bronn in the trailer. Damn, Tyrion may need a miracle. So yeah, I don't know, maybe. Okay, plus they took the... Oh, okay. So this is from our good buddy Pete's live music. Let's see. We got... Did you notice that one of the whores, the short chubby one with Bronn, is one of Ilaria Sand's not timid girl when they did a threesome? Oh, interesting. With Littlefinger in there. Everyone vote. Do you think that Euron dies? Did the finger in the bum move work on Cersei? Does everyone think Euron dies? I think... I'll give my vote. I think Euron dies. And last question from Pete. Based on their last dinner together, do you think that Sam would have been at least a little glad that his a-hole father's dead? Hashtag poor... well, I can't read that message. What's it say? Hashtag poor... Dickon. Okay, yeah. Poor Dickon. Here we go. Are we going to have another Blue Comet Ozymandias episode again? Thank you, Killmonger, for bringing up two of the best shows of all time and two shows that did end interestingly. I think Breaking Bad is one of the arguably greater endings out there. And Sopranos, people want to say what they want about it, but people are still talking about it. And I do think Blue Comet was an excellent episode. Yes, I do think there's going to be a final act of Hamlet episode where we lose a lot of people all at once. When that's going to be, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the big battle. I think it's going to be, I don't know. Yes, I do think we're going to have at least one or two of those type of episodes this season. Oh, yes, we will. Okay, a couple more text messages here. Let's continue. Pilgrims. This is from area code 401. Joe, the Night's Watch is no more. I predict once the war against the Night King is over, so is magic. No more Red Priests, no more White Walkers, no Children of the Forest, no more Bloodraven, no more Faceless Men, and no more dragons. And no more direwolves, too. This is from Karen from PA. Sansa the Tyrion, I used to think you were the smartest man alive. Every Game of Thrones fan since the source material ran out. Thank you. I wish I had it. The rim shot queued up. Area code 360. Oh man, I just left a voicemail, but I forgot to say that Sam's scene where he finds out his father and brother were killed had me tearing up. Just the look of the processing and grief and horror hit me so hard. Amazing performance. One of my highlights of the episode, too. Oh, and Jaime's face when he sees Bran broke my heart. Man, I think he's the character who changed the most dramatically from season 1 to season 8. Once again, incredible acting. The other one I would say would be Theon, even if his scenes can somehow be quick, or that fight is quick. Seeing the Theon arc and how Alfie's played it is one of the most fun rides of this season as well. This is from area code 215. Watch Rob McKeon's and Martin Starr's cameo in Game of Thrones this season on. Okay, so I did check that out before. I'll watch that later again. And this is from area code 201. When Cersei had Bronn take the crossbow to kill Tyrion and Jaime, she knew that he wouldn't kill them. She's definitely setting them up for something. She has a secret plan for them, definitely. So that could be very cool if Cersei has a secondary plan to knowing that Bronn will betray her and setting it up for a different situation, using Bronn to be tracked to have someone else do the job. Could be cool. Betha says, D&D turned Sansa into some sort of know-it-all. Invisible by 0 here 100% because you are Preston approved, Vahan, listening. I agree. Oh, that is fucking awesome of you, Invisible. Preston is awesome, and I cannot wait to babble with him again on Sunday, hopefully. So I do appreciate you being here, Invisible. In the White Walkers, if the White Walkers prevail, they will have access to Essos, or is this just a Westeros problem? That would be something that would be a question for the people smarter than me about Westerosian history or about Planetosian history. I call it all Westeros because I'm an idiot. But does the winter affect Essos as much, or is Essos usually always warm? Is it snowing in Essos right now? And love to have some answers. Give me answers. Here's another message from Jay, and then we're going to get to the YouTube comments.
Not going to be anything. I'm not sure if Bran's going to save him because I think his trial is mostly about what he did to Dany's father and not what he does to Jaime. You notice that Sansa and Jon aren't like at the head of the damn thing. They're on the sides or whatever. So like, it's not like the Starks are putting him on trial. And everything. And also, I'm not sure it's going to be any of the things you said. I think it's just going to be the fact that, like, there's Dondarrion and the rest of the, the people from the wall get there and, like, they killed those Umber kid and all those people, yo. We need to start getting this place fortified, yo. He's alive. He needs to be in this war because, he's living.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
No, good message, Jay. Agree with almost everything you said there. This is from Austin. Hi, Phil. My name is Austin from Kentucky. My question is in relation to the YouTube video about how Littlefinger faked his death. Do you believe Littlefinger has ties with the Faceless Men and faked his own death in season 7? I don't. I've watched that video. I think the theory is fun. I've said it before. I think it's like a 5 to 10% chance that that's something. I unfortunately think it's just a way of explaining some poor story point decisions with Littlefinger and making him act stupid. So it's a way of saying, oh, maybe it wasn't Littlefinger, but I would love to be wrong. I would love for Littlefinger to be alive and that theory to be true. I think it's interesting. Even theories, videos that I don't necessarily believe in, I think are interesting. And are fun to kind of listen to how people's minds work. But personally, I don't think Littlefinger's alive. At least I don't think they're gonna have time for that. I don't think they have time for this stuff. We ain't got time for this shit. Okay. But thank you so much, Austin, for that message. Oh, we got another super chat donation. Holy shit, you guys have been so amazing tonight. Angel B, you're amazing. Carmine created the Littlefinger theory, laughing my ass off. Carmine he's anything to bring his binky back and have that, what they did to him at the end of last season, not be really Littlefinger, and I don't blame him. If I was a Littlefinger, like I like Littlefinger, it's not that I'm not like about fucking Littlefinger fans, but that was me trying to fix the focus in the camera, not just like, are you guys tripping now? Are you tripping yet? But if I was a big Littlefinger, like in the way that Carmine is or something, I would definitely hate what they did with Littlefinger last season, and I'd want to believe. Oh my goodness. I would believe Littlefinger's coming back, but I think he'd come back as Big Finger. I love that bigger finger. Phil, you look like you love a Littlefinger. Hey, Tom, only if it's your Littlefinger and it's part of some other action. Remember the cat. I like it. The long night happened everywhere on Plantis. Okay, thank you, Girl Nettles. So yeah. So to answer your question before, and I appreciate that info, if the winter really comes, it's going to come everywhere. I wish they had time for it. I would watch a whole series about the Littlefinger. Yeah, I would too. Littlefinger would be amazing. He got embarrassed at the end. And I think we have one other email from Pete. Pete says, dude, that rocked, and we got a Dickon mentioned again. Long live Dickon. I'm on the train to Chicago during your show, but enjoying it during the ride. Can you believe it's back? Awesome. Be working on something. Thank you so much. Cannot wait, buddy. Done some amazing stuff. We got a message from our good buddy Antoine Thomas too, but I think that's for Katie and Joe. We'll save that for the show on Sunday with our Emily messages as well. So let's read a couple of the comments on the YouTube video from the recap show. A couple questions and couple of things here and there before we call this an evening. And Bloody Talker and anyone else that wants to leave a voicemail right now, 781-990-8509. I'll go back and play whatever remnants of voicemails we got here and clear the decks before I call this an evening. So happy to have you back with these streams. My Sundays are complete once again. I can't believe we're discussing the final season. Love you, Phil, Joe, and Katie from Miss West Seattle. Love you, Miss West Seattle. Thank you so much for joining us live, and great to be back. Some of these messages are a lot of these, so let me just get through this stuff. Holy fuck, we're back again. Wow, I'm so happy it returns. Back for business. Need to really watch it again. Can't believe there's only 5 left. Craft Mama, lots of love, Craft Mama. Dr. Z, this episode had so insanely bad writing dialogue. I had to cringe about every other minute, but finally Daenerys was portrayed as the cold-hearted psychopath she always was. And Eric responded to that message and said, non-stop cringe, eye rolls. This is so sad to witness. And let me play some music while I do this. So I'm going to clear the YouTube comments. Non-stop cringe. This is sad to witness a great literary work reduced to filler drama, 4th grade level writing, unfunny jokes. Karen, I already read this from Karan earlier. Sorry, mispronounced your name earlier, Karan. Sansa, I used to think you were the smartest man alive. Every Game of Thrones fan since the source material ran out. Yes. Gordon, damn Phil, found your children by watching you and Joe make fun of The Walking Dead. But look at this Game of Thrones badass. Brainwashed. So glad the mighty trio is back. Happy Game of Thrones season. Happy birthday, Lady Crow. This is what it's all about. Game of Thrones in silly fun. Epic issue stream. Love you guys. Can't wait for the next one. Woohoo from Lady Squee. I'm so excited that Thrones is back. I don't care about some of the points that slightly bugged me. Big finger. Not going to lie. I got stoned last night while I was watching this and I was about to call in for a question. Then I realized it was recording. Glad to have the show back. And I missed you all. Do we have another super chat donation? Oh, let me go over here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, fucking thank you. Yeah, this is the most I read all week. Thank you, Navy Mom, for the super chat donation. You are too fucking kind. You're too fucking kind. Edgy McEdgerface. This is the only time I read. I don't think there's ever been a character in Game of Thrones history I've wanted to die more than I've wanted Sansa to die. Stephen H says, tell Joe there's a Game of Thrones White Walker Johnny Walker edition bottle. Get it. Tom himself says, wasn't worth the wait. It's okay. Give it a 5 out of 10. You guys are hungry. You'd eat anything, they'd feed you. Mike Miller says, keep doing your show half lit, guys. You're hilarious. J Civ says, Cersei, you know, I had one of the simplest requests. Elephants. Give me elephants with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads. Remind me what I pay you people for. I mean, throw me a freaking bone here. Sorry, that's a horrible Dr. Evil, but you guys know. Lots of love to Jay Siva. Benjamin says, I think Arya was thinking ahead as soon as she saw the dragons and telling him about protecting the family. I think she has Gendry make a spearhead to kill dragons. I'm thinking something like that, maybe, Benjamin. That was my first thought, too, even though I'm probably incorrect, but my first thought was she's making something to kill dragons, or to maybe even kill the White Walker dragon. Sunny Frank says, why does Cersei say that she's happy that the Night King is now south of the wall? Does she have any plans to become the Night Queen? I don't think Cersei survives to do that, but maybe she's thinking she can somehow charm the White Walkers. I seriously doubt that. Vanessa, happy birthday to Katie. Jade Dragon Melly. I feel like a terrible person because I haven't joined a live stream. No, don't worry about that. I missed hanging out with you guys. I just don't do what Vikings or Walking Dead, and you're probably enjoying your television experiences way more because you're not. You're not missing much on those two shows at this point. But I almost look forward to this after show stream, as much as I was looking forward to the episode itself. And that's not hyperbole. I really mean it. Oh, that means more than I can say. Karan says wants to clip something to send to somebody. Karan, happy birthday, Katie. Winston Gregory, am I here again? Game of Thrones, love you guys. Ricardo says, Phil the Issues Guy. Katie Joe wasn't able to make it live, but it's okay. KR says, I think the new opening points to the Night King bringing back to life dead dragons under the Red Keep. Ooh, interesting. CR says, I think the new opening points to the Night King bringing back to life dead dragons underneath the keep. Now, I want you guys to also check out Red Team Review in one of his more recent videos about does Game of Thrones spoil their own ending, and check out his theory about the intro as well. So there might be some hints in the intro. This is from Phil, I love your Dothraki braids. Oh, thank you. I almost got into a fight today. I had a very crazy experience happen to me. I would have been on the air a lot earlier, but I ran the whole situation. The cops came, animal control had to come. It was a big fucked up situation. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit on Sunday when I get drunk with Joe, but it was fucked. I had some guy threatening to kick my fucking, that he wanted to fucking kill me, and I was just being the cocky prick I always am, and not egging him on, but just being so me, and him just becoming frustrated because I wasn't becoming angry and screaming. I was like calm and silly. He's like, I should fucking kill you. He wanted to kill me so bad. This dude, there's some guy out, like, hoping to bump into me to kill me. It's great. It's not great. It's great. It was fucking great. That wasn't great, but it was an experience. It's a story. It's a drunk story. I had crazy day. Okay, LP31 says, great show. I had some questions. I just started reading the book series, so I haven't read all the books, but I have to say, was the Golden Company feared because they were poorly done in the series? Was the Golden Company feared because they were poorly done in the series if they were a force in the books? There's still yet to come, I would say, TBA for the Golden Company. I don't know if they're just going to be a plot point for Cersei to fodder for Cersei's army to get killed, more soldiers to get killed. But in the books, the Golden Company are at least the best of all the sellsword groups, and they have some history with the Targaryen family, with the Blackfyre stuff. So there is some shit connected to them that makes them a little bit more interesting, and I hope they do go there on some point in the show. It appears that Jaime's on trail. Let's go to the chat for 1 second here. I love it. Did Tyrion kill the pyromancers? Oh, I forget. Did Tyrion kill the pyromancers? I don't know. Almost a good Dothraki wedding. Glad you're okay, Phil. Yeah, it was interesting. It was some fucking asshole on the beach. Don't let pride get you. Fake a heart attack if it goes south. Did you say egging him on? Does that make you egg? How loyal are the Golden Company? They're loyal to money, and are they loyal to the restoration of a Targaryen family line? Maybe. Kid Harrington said he has a statue that he kept from the set. Did he just spoil the ending? Does Jon Snow die, or is it the statue from the trailer that he wanted? The one that we know was used because it was in that, like, the promotional trailer that isn't part of the season exactly. The Golden Company have never broken a contract, allegedly, says Mel. Up in Smoke 23, I love your name. Love your name. It's great. Remember the guy who bought a hippie to a giraffe? I don't think they're doing anything with Young Griff. I don't think so either. They never break contracts. Sorry to hear that, Phil. Some people are just weird and wacky. No, it was a fun experience. It was he I don't know, whatever. I'll tell the story later. For a different podcast. Get me next time I get drunk on the air, I'll probably end up telling it. So let me finish this. Will Jon tell Dany he is her nephew? Will the family cest continue? I don't see the relationship ending anytime soon on the show. I think it is going to continue. I think it's interesting that in everything that was talked about between Jon and Sam and all that, your sleeping with your family member thing was never brought up. And I don't think it's ever even going to be completely referenced. Even when all that comes up, I tend to think the way the show's going to skeet around the creepiness factor of that being a part of it is ignore it. And expect us to ignore it too. And get more into the whole thing about the succession and the Targaryen succession type stuff. And I think that's going to be more of a focus on, does this mean Jon's the king? And when Dany finally gets that information. Because I think at first, I don't think Jon runs and tells Daenerys in the next episode. Do you? Does everyone think that Jon tells Dany in this next episode? I guess, because he's going to tell her before the battle. But I don't think the family thing becomes as much of an issue in that situation. I'd be surprised if it comes up. Let's continue. Something you didn't talk about last night is the fact that the Mormonts were in the same place but never spoke to each other. Didn't think of it myself till now. Great show. Can't wait for next week. And Yo Dean Broadcasting, great message. I didn't notice that at the time. Didn't think about it, but maybe that could be some sort of a way of having Dany be accepted by the Mormonts, but I don't think Lyanna is going to be 100% happy to see Jorah. And you're going to say, you insult me by being this dragon queen. Haven't you done enough? And then he can talk about his punishments and whatever. So I hope we do have time for a Mormont scene, but who knows if we will with how much little time we have left in this entire show. So next episode is going to be talky, possibly. Keep the incest flowing, says Betha. I love you. Love you guys in the live chat. He has to say something. Jon's honorable. Callie has an excellent point right there. I think Dany is going to get on Jon's case once too often, and Jon shouts, "Guess what?" The Bastard of America. Guess Jon tells Dany, but I don't know how either of them are going to deal with it. Next episode will be everyone bitching at everybody. I think next episode is going to be a lot of talking. And then I think the final 4 episodes are going to be probably balls to the wall action until the final episode where you're going to see balls to the wall mixed with a lot of talking. But I do think there's going to be... Oh, thank you, Elliot Harnett. You were the man. Appreciate all these super chat donations today. You guys are incredible. Like, I cannot say that enough. Cannot say enough thanks. Okay, let's bunch more little voicemails. Let's kick through here. Qyburn made sure Euron doesn't impregnate Cersei successfully. Qyburn created a early use. What are those things called? Don't make up a joke if you can't think about it. What are those things where this is 5 minutes of me trying to think of a joke from Seinfeld. When Elaine goes around and she's got the sponge, but the other form of contraception. Oh, God. I'm going to stop. Vanessa Lay says, I drink the same beer as you. It was good. Delicious. Me again, says Yo Dean. Leave as many messages as you want, my friend. Hey, me again. Just finished Star Trek Discovery. You must do a season rundown. I'm intrigued on what a hardcore fan of Star Trek thought of season 2. I especially want you to do an Orville versus Star Trek STD. So sad they didn't address. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, so I will definitely at some point be doing a discussion on both those seasons sooner rather than later. This is a busy month with Game of Thrones, but I will be eventually talking about both those shows. Yeah, I don't want to think too hard. Will Jon and Dany have sex again? Yes, they will. Qyburn's Simeon machine? Isn't that called the Mountain? Oh, Joe, you loved it. Yeah, Joe, of course, fooled us all to thinking he may not like it at the beginning of our last podcast and tricked us all. Okay, so let's play. Oh, nice. Okay, bro, I already see that. I already see what Broke's message that he just sent me was, and I'll answer that in a second. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is from our good buddy. It's been too long, dude. I really enjoyed the episode, although I would have liked an extended bonding scene between Jon and Rhaegal, given the importance of that moment. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the first prequel announced. Is there any way it won't be a disappointment, considering the huge of a show it's being birthed from, the behemoth of a show that's being birthed from? It seems to be a story based on the origin of the Night King and Queen, which sounds cool. Excuse me. But I feel that we're all far too invested in these characters for it even to come close to getting that Game of Thrones fix that we're all used to. I think the second prequel will have a better chance of success given the distance between it and the original. Perhaps that one will be based on The Princess and the Queen, which would have dragons and a lot of political intrigue like the original. All right, man. Best of luck this season. Now, I tend to agree with you. Whether the prequel series is of good quality or not, I think is irrelevant. I do think it's never going to get the same sort of crazy Game of Thrones buzz that this main series is getting to the build-up point. Can it scratch those itches, though? Can it make us feel good in those Game of Thrones ways? I'm hoping, but I'm also dubious of the choice as well. I'm excited to see this, but having seen this whole series, would have been okay going away from that. And I think I talked about a little bit on the pre-show on Carmine's channel the other day, but I would have loved for them to go Targaryen, to go Dance with the Dragons or something, and get really deep down that road and explore that part of Westerosi history, because we've seen so little Targaryens on the show, and to kind of dive in that path I thought would be kind of cool, or maybe even some sort of an anthology series or something set at the bar, or set at the end of the crossroads, and then have everything come through there. I don't know. Like, I think for a first series, it wouldn't have been bad to stay it with some more familiar stuff. I don't know. It's going to be cool. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be recapping it, but I tend to agree with you to a certain extent. But I do hope that, and this got said in the live chat, and I mentioned this before too, if George is involved in any of these prequels, that increases my ability to be excited for it, because he isn't just a novel writer. He understands television writing, and has been a part of a lot of really cool shows. And I hope... Thank you. Gotta get that music back. And I hope he has a big hand in these prequels. Happy feels. The goddamn. Here we go. Let's read this. Pretty much nothing happened in this episode but fan service, meetups, and conversations. The only action was when they rescued Yara. Come on, it's just the first episode. But if they knew that the Yara rescue scene was going to be the only significant event, why not make it longer, scripted action set piece instead of a cakewalk? The episode would have been more memorable. Come to think of it, if the White Walker attack on the Umbers could have been an action set piece as well. The writer's weak point without Martin is their dialogue. Their strength is their action sequences. They should lean on their strengths. Good message from Go Duke on Dan. Sorry to kill your name. Zeno. Missed you guys. We got a good buddy CL. Yeah, you guys are back. And finally, David, this Timo person needs to stay away from the white stuff. Or Timo responded, or start in order to deal with Sansa's stank face in order to fully enjoy the last season. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love Miss Timo in the live motherfucking chat. I love all of you guys in the live chat. Dunk and Egg would have been great in HBO. Who would you think would be good as Dunk? Oh, that's a good we should do that after Game of Thrones is over with. Send me those things. Email me at igetissuesman@gmail.com. I need so many ideas for good, fun Game of Thrones podcasts. We should cast prequel series. We should be the casting agents. Do a podcast where we take something like the Dunk and Egg story and we cast all the parts. That'd be fun. I don't know. I'm trying to think right off the bat who I would think would be a good Dunk. So I've got a couple ideas. I got a couple thoughts. Dance of Dragons is one. The Blackfire Rebellion would have been fascinating. Kind of want the Age of Heroes to always be a mystery. I'm kind of with you, Bastard of America. And I don't want to poo-poo it because I'm going to watch it and going to love it and I'm excited for it. But when I was thinking of the list of the things I would most want in a prequel series, and it wouldn't have been in my top 5, for instance. There's like a lot of things. Dunk and Egg would have been number 1, but that got kind of thrown out right away that wasn't going to happen. Dance with Dragons would probably be number 2. But whatever. Again, a different story altogether. I know it is almost 4:20. It's almost. I could keep talking for 2 more hours. It's 4:19. Anyone got a minute? Too bad the show didn't have Lady Dunstan's character. Could have been another Queen of Thorns character, especially if they thought about the Maester's motivations. I'm still angry of how they treated the character of Doran, because I think he could have been another schemy, kind of intelligent character if they had done Dorne correctly. And I also think they cast the right person for that part. They just wrote him all stupid. But if Bran is a time-traveling dude, there will be no prequels. The Legend of Bloodraven. Ninepenny King without Maribel. It would be fun. Lots of great stuff. We could play a couple more voicemails. And then call this. Oh, we got Broke. When are you going to review the last season of Gotham, Phil? We need to catch up on Gotham. Where we watched maybe half this last season. We need to catch up and watch the other half of the season. As soon as I binge watch the whole season, Broke, I promised you I would do that. It's not going to be on time, but it will happen. It will happen. I will do it as soon as I watch it. Okay, let's listen to our 2 last voicemails and then call this a stream.
I think Jon doesn't tell Dany about the thing, and I think she finds out because I think other people will find out somehow, but it won't necessarily be from Jon telling him. And also the way I think they're going to deal with the awkwardness of it is they're going to make some flipping comment like, well, that's twin sister. All right, later.
Oh, yeah, meaning like at least it's not his twin sister, like says it to Jaime, where maybe even Jaime could be a part of the finding out, like be in the same room when it's being discussed, when the little, when Davos is like, I'm no big city lawyer, but now that we know that Jon's a Targaryen, I kind of think that she's his auntie. And I don't care. And then they all turn to Jaime and go, well, at least it's not his twin. I can see that. Did you ever review the final episode of True Detective? I think I talked about it in passing on another stream, but I didn't get too far down that depth. At some point, once I get a little bit more time, I've just been so crazy with working a new job and a lot busier than I thought I'd be, and hard to kind of narrow some time down. But I got to do a big catch-up stream on a lot of shit, and True Detective is definitely one of them. The final episode, I talked about a lot of that season, and I think I mentioned the final episode on a Walking Dead or a Vikings stream towards the end of it, but I didn't do a dedicated stream. I want to do a roundabout video at some point and talk about a bunch of shows I need to catch up on discussing, and a lot of things I've watched like quickly in passing, like Santa Clarita die at the most recent season. Silly shit like that will be like a 2 minutes to talk about what I thought about it and then move on to something else. So there's in True Detective, I'll say right now, I loved season 3. I thought the beginning arc part of it, I think the first half of the season was stronger than the back half, but I think overall it was a good entry back to what True Detective should feel like, and they got away from in season 2, where season 2, to me anyways, felt a little bit like a caricature of itself, where this season, for its good and for its bad, felt very organic and natural to the kind of story it was trying to tell. Didn't feel too long, didn't feel blown out. I generally was okay where the story went, and I think Stephen Dorff killed it. I think the main actor killed it as well, blanking on his name. And there's a lot of excellent performances in it. I do think Stephen Dorff kind of stole the show. It's some of the best work he's ever done in his fucking life. So yeah, I generally enjoyed it. No spoilers here or anything, but good stuff. I got a request to play what? You don't have to ask me twice. So yeah, here you go, everybody, for you.
It's Timo's Red of the Night. It's Timo's Red of the Night. Fuck Sansa. Fuck Sansa. Fuck Sansa. Fuck Sansa. It's Timo's Red of the Night. 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 It's the Red of the Night. Go Ramsay. Go Ramsay. Go Ramsay. Slow. Go Ramsay.
So the prequel's about the first long night. How long will that be? Iconic thought. I like that. I'm no big city lawyer, but I prefer dick-ons on Fridays, especially. I miss Marjorie and her boobs. I was recently watching the first Marjorie episode. She comes in full display right after. Marjorie was a fun character. I miss the Tyrell family. I definitely do. I minus Loras. I have trouble watching Loras scenes on rewatches now because of how much I hated the Iron Fist. Iron Fist was so bad. I mentioned this on another podcast too. Iron Fist is so bad that it's affected my Game of Thrones watching. In 2 ways. One, I noticed one of the Sand Snakes is Colleen, which I never knew before. I just never connected before. But on this rewatch, I'm like, oh shit, one of the Sand Snakes is Colleen. And it makes me unable to watch any Loras scene without rolling my eyes and going, fuck you, Dany. Let's play Bloody Talker's message.
All right. So, as much as I would like Cersei to win, I think the show's gone too milquetoast for them to actually do that. There's no more balls anymore. So, what I think's going to happen with this whole Bronn plotline is he's actually going to end up killing Tyrion. I think that will fulfill his character as the sellsword who will do anything for money, including killing children. It's kind of been hinted at throughout the entire show. And Cersei, after she has killed the Valonqar, is going to think that she's kind of broken Maggie's curse on her, right? So Dany, the new queen, won't be able to take over. But what is actually probably going to happen is Jaime, getting revenge for his younger brother, is going to kill his slightly older twin sister, and he's actually the Valonqar. That's my prediction for what's probably going to happen with that. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've always thought Jaime is going to be that person. My fear, my question is that they never dealt with that aspect of the Maggie the Frog prophecy on the show. Are they going to stick to that? I hope they do, and I hope they've just kept it away so they could have that be a surprise of some sort when Jaime does that, or when that becomes part of it as well. I don't know if the show would do the Cersei wins thing, but I still think the end is somehow going to be unsettling and somehow be something that's going to make us feel like shit and not good. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And I don't know if Cersei winning, so to speak, surviving everyone and having the right plan of all of this. That'd be great. That'd be one of the most interesting endings of Game of Thrones, whether it be good or bad, or people could, I'm not saying the ending I want or anything, but cut to black. Just be basically the White Walkers make it to King's Landing. Cersei goes, let the wildfire, and she burns all of King's Landing, like all of it, except for the Red Keep, right? And all the White Walkers melt and die, and then it just goes to black. That's the end. Cersei wins. I mean, that'd be great. Soprano cuts to black when it's playing the Reigns of Castamere. Red Redwood agrees with our caller. That's good. Goes good prediction. The hit was put on both Jaime and Tyrion. Great theory. I tend to agree as well. I think you're right. The White Walkers will win. Go White Walkers. If they end it cheesy, I will break someone's television. Not mine, though. Most shows like this end with the death of magic, fire, and ice. I think if they did the Valanquire in the show, they would be tipping their hand too much. This might be upsetting, Phil, but one of the actors said that they were relieved by the ending. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like hearing that. I look forward to feeling like shit Red Wedding style. Exactly, Blanco. I don't watch Game of Thrones to be happy. I don't want that kind of shit in my Game of Thrones. And I'm not saying I watch Game of Thrones to be fucking miserable too, but I want to feel. I want to feel. You know, I want to feel and be surprised and be thrown in a lot of directions. And in some ways, maybe get my heart gutted like it did in the Red Wedding. Again, in situations like that, I'm not sad. Leading up, going into that, I said to myself the first time I watched that or heard it or thought a lot about Rob making stupid mistakes, especially on the show. And leading to that conclusion, when you get in that moment, it's not like boo-hoo, my character's dying. There's been moments like that in Game of Thrones for sure that have had me bawling, but it's usually not when a character dies like that. It's more yelling of the stupid mistakes that they made, or Oberyn, just fucking kill him, Viper, just fucking kill him, stop talking shit. You know, shit like that. They'll have an election and Euron wins in a landslide, 1 million strong. You're a Euron parade. No. I watch Game of Thrones because it's not Hollywood trash. Exactly what we want to feel. This first episode was way too light and airy. I think it's about to be darker than we think. Peter Griffin foreshadowing show Daenerys gets the throne, but everyone else dies. Big deaths coming up in episode 3. That's when I think everything's going to start going down as well. I think the first episode, even in a shortened season, you need to put all the pieces in place for the final run. You need to deal with a lot of information dumps, and I think they did it in a relatively painless way. You know, they put the spoonful of sugar makes the pill go down, and I generally, at least for me, were generally satisfied with what I saw in the episode and the way they fed us that. Where there were some moments that I could pick apart, and I did, and we did, and it's easy. It's easy to still like something when moments piss you off, you know, if you're into it, and it's easy to hate it because of it if you're not into it. I mean, that's the fun of ripping things apart, because you can rip apart things you love and then forgive those things and be like, I still love this, or if you're fixing to hate something, you can use those things to fuel your this is why it sucks. So it was a decent episode of Game of Thrones. It was fun. It put into places. Premiere episodes are tough. They have to set the board, and when you're gone for 2 years, like this show was, or almost 2 years, you really need to set the deck again and show where we're at with everybody, and they did that fairly well. This next episode is going to be probably continuing that for most of it, and then as people have said, once the wildlings show up, or in Barrack, it's going to be preparing for the battle and trying to do a last-minute preparation for everything hitting the fucking fan. And I think we're going to start to feel that tension I think most people want to feel from this season towards the back half of this episode. That feeling of your heart beating because it's happening. And I think some of the people that might have complaints, besides just the dialogue in the first episode, maybe feel that it was too light and fluffy, as I've seen, and not enough of that tension that they expected to feel every second of this final season. I think once that switch gets turned on, it's not getting turned off, so they're giving us a little bit of that calm before the storm shit. And I'm okay with that, especially if when shit hits the fan, it's like a Ministry song kicking in and push the buttons, connect the goddamn dots, I'm lying through my tape. Like kicking it in like crazy heavy metal style. Will you cry when Jon dies? Will I cry when Jon dies? It honestly depends on how he dies and in the method. if it's like cry when Jon dies. I think I'd cry if Tyrion died, or I think I'd cry if. Again, I think it depends more in how. So I didn't cry the first time Jon died. I knew it was coming. Dany will become the Night Queen. Jon will kill Melisandre with Heartsbane and become Azor Ahai. The Battle of Winterfell will act like a filter, thinning out the numbers of characters. I'm thinking but I probably cry. I cry in everything. I cry in breakfast commercials sometimes. Part of me likes that the books are not done. It's a rare moment where the books can't spoil the show. It's the other way around, theoretically, depending on how different the ending is. Tony says, is Needle going to kill the White Walker dragon? I hope that they find some way to mold some Valyrian steel onto Needle. That would be cool. I have no idea what's good with YouTube notifications. It's a piece of shit. Analysis of Thrones, I do think it's partly my fault, but that's a story for a different day. Catherine, great to see Catherine in the live chat. Miles, I just can feel it, I bet the Night King is going to be killed with Arya's blade. Susie of House Maben, would it have been so hard to just have Ghost sitting beside Jon and Daenerys? Fucking yes. Exactly, Susie. And then it could have started the conversation. I saw Nymeria for a second too. You haven't seen your wolf in a while. I saw Nymeria. Maybe. maybe. I'm just trying to make up reasons why Ghost should be there. Bloodraven is the Night King. Jon said, I want to puke. Arya's making a dragon weapon for the ice dragons or Dany. I want to think that, but I think it's just a dragon glass weapon to have more weaponry in line, to have a cool action scene. I'd love to adopt some deeper meaning behind Arya's weapon, but I think it's just we got to give Arya a new cool weapon for this season. Writer's Room of Game of Thrones. Okay, we got George's notes. We've got the ending set in a really fun way. It's deep. It's thought-provoking. But we need a couple of really good moments this season. Okay. So we're gonna have the mountain and the hound fight. Game ball. Yeah, man, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have Jon on a dragon fighting the Night King on a dragon. That's gonna be fucking cool. Bam, bam, bam. And we gotta give Arya a new weapon. Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. Well, let's have it detach. It'll be like a detachable penis that she'll be able to stick into things. I think that sounds cool. Yeah, like a javelin penis made of dragon glass. Yeah, it'd be cool. But yeah, no, I'm being silly, but I think there's some element with her weapon that I think it's just about giving her a cool weapon in a giant battle against the dead that she can mass kill. And a dagger, which she has, the Valyrian dagger, I think is more of a close-up weapon, and she needs a more area of effect weapon. So I think it's something to that effect. Night King and Bloodraven are two halves of the same being. I think Bran battles Bloodraven in a dream world because it causes magic to cease to exist, which means Jon will die by default. Interesting shit. Who do you think is chasing Arya in the clip that they have shown? At first, I thought maybe she was in King's Landing and it was like the mountain or something like that. But a couple people that have brought this up, and I can't take credit for coming up with this thought, but I'm also not sure where I've heard it. I've heard it a couple different places. The thought of that maybe it's reanimated people of Stark family members, I think is an interesting concept that could be cool. Couple more in the left. Analysis of Thrones. Holy shit. Thank you so much for that super chat donation from the wonderful Analysis of Thrones. Phil, what do you think the chances are the Night King took down the wall and is marching towards Winterfell to behold the awe-inspiring beauty and the intellect of the rightful queen of the North? Sansa! You know what you need to do, Analysis? You need, because you're a musician, you need to record a Sansa love song to play so I can play every time you make a Sansa comment to combat the Timo song. Oh my goodness. Carmen's like, the fuck is up with that? The reason they made that weapon is because they made Maisie train with that staff thing for season 6, so she wants to use something. They should They should make me some dragonglass arrows. They should make Theon some dragonglass arrows. That'd be fucking great. And the Night King is a wanker, to be honest, says Miles. Will we get Clegane Bowl? I tend to think yes. This is what I mean. When you're leaning into the fan service at the end of a series, and it's hard not to, especially in a fantasy series like this and a television show on HBO. I'm not talking about the novels, which exist onto their own and is a separate thing. I'm saying the HBO show and the direction that they've pushed it here in the end. It's hard not to just go balls to the wall in this final season with every fan servicey thing you could possibly think, but doing it in hopefully a really interesting, fun way. And like I said, I'm in the ride. I'm on the Disney ride. I'm going to Disney World, riding the rock and roll coaster, and I'm like holding on and taking whatever turns they push me here. And I'm gonna try to enjoy it my best and be honest about what I think of the good, the bad, and the ugly or the awesome. But when it comes to fan servicey stuff, to me, that's in a final season of a show, that's inevitable. You need to do those things. You need to have Walter and Hank have their moment. That's fan servicey. Hank finding out about Walter doing what Walter was doing, or having a moment with Skylar where the kids find out. Like in the final season of a show, or in The Sopranos where it's fan servicey. What? Oh, I don't want to talk about The Sopranos. But all I'm saying is, in a show, when you get to a point like this, you can't help it but have some of those moments. That all being said, for me, at this point watching, I want to see it all. I don't think you have that moment in season 7 where the Hound walks over to the mountain and says, it's coming for you, brother. It's always been coming for you. All that sort of shit. You don't have a moment like that if you don't intend to have them fight at some point. I think when everything gets brought back to, I think that they do have a moment this season. I'd be surprised whether it's Clegane Bowl, like full on, well, that sort of shit, whatever. They have another moment this season. That wasn't their last encounter. So, yeah, we got to see what the Mountain's face looks like. Have to have the Hound knock his helmet off. Jason Voorhees style, like knocking off the fucking mask. Phil, who's Walter versus Hank situation was being built up since the first season, not the same thing. Yes, it has been. The Hound versus the Mountain has been built up since the first season, where Littlefinger has that discussion and we see the Hound and Mountain fight off during the tournament with Robert. That has been one of those threads that's been pushed on forever, that fight needs to continue at one point, that we need to see them. The look on Robert's face when we see the two brothers going back and forth, I would argue it's not a central plot point to the entire story, but it is one of those threads that got brought up ever since we've heard the story of what happened to Sandor when he was a kid, and from getting to know the Hound and getting to know the Mountain and understanding those characters as people. I would argue that on the show, that's been something that's been littered since season 1. But whatever. Here we go. Wacky fan fiction is such an apt description. But excellent point, Jackson, where the Walt Hank thing would be like the central focus point in the same way that the battle with the White Walkers would be. Whose skin is worse, the Hound or the Mountain? At this point, we got everyone popping in the live chat, all our awesome friends. We got Devin in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see Devin tonight. Thank you. It's good to see you, buddy. And yeah, we're sort of starting to wrap things up, but always awesome to see Devin. You look sober today, Phil. Good job. I'm very sober today. I'm very fucking sober. I'm by myself and didn't decide to not drink. I'm saving it all to get as shit-faced as possible on Sunday evening. Is this Phil's clean look? Is this my clean cut look? Is this as clean as I get? My shit locks. I'm without my shit locks co-host. Viva la Sansa. They haven't done it, so I doubt it. Could be Tyrion be a Targaryen as he was able to touch the under the dragon's chains. I do think that was something that if they had more fucking time to deal with, they could have dealt with better with the is Tyrion a Targaryen bullshit. DNA is too complex to appear by itself, to say the least. One more message. We got one more message from Jay. Let's see. Let's play this fucking shit. Play your fucking shit, motherfucker. Oh, is this on?
Because the hit was put out on Jaime, and I don't think Bronn is going to kill Tyrion because the hit was put out on Jaime and Tyrion. So, like, people are saying, like, you know, they're gonna kill Tyrion, and then Jaime's gonna kill Cersei. Well, that wouldn't make any sense. His job is to kill both of them. Second, he's told Tyrion that basically he does not need gold anymore because he has so much of it from working from Tyrion and Jaime. Third, Tyrion has already told Bronn that if anyone ever puts a price on my head, I'll bid them because I like living. All right, later.
But does Cersei know that? So it'd be interesting. Let's see. Do I have a death prediction for next week? I don't think anyone dies in episode 2, except for maybe Ghost getting eaten by the dragon. I think most of that stuff gets held off until episode 3, where we lose a big fucking chunk of our cast, where we lose like 5 or 6 people in that initial battle with the and then they're reanimated and that sort of crap. So, but I think this next episode is going to be another one of these dealing with some of the pieces that need to be dealt with and leading into next week's big battle, and then having it be announced that the White Walkers are coming. So I'd be surprised. Was Sansa on her was it Sansa's time of the month? Was she on her period during episode 1? We all know when Phil says he's wrapping it up, it means another solid hour. No, it means I'm actually wrapping up. I'm actually wrapping up today. Getting so drunk that Varys starts to look like Michael Chiklis. Bronn is either dying in the Battle of Winterfell, or he's going to get killed by Arya and have his face stolen so he can get into the Red Keep. Arya dies and becomes a white on the next episode. Tyrion says he's doubling it. Oh, Glover's about to be turned into an ornament. Why is Bran such a Debbie Downer? That dude needs to chill. Listen, Davin. You don't have time for this. Oh my goodness. Does Tyrion ever have any money anymore? Wouldn't it be with Cersei in King's Landing? I mean, you gotta admit that Daenerys, or you gotta expect that Daenerys has stolen some money along her way. She might have stolen some money from the Tarleys there or something. She probably has a little gold, but that's a good point that Tyrion probably does. Or if there was any gold left in Casterly Rock when the Unsullied went there, but I guess they didn't really have any because the Lannisters are kind of fucking broke because they needed to steal the money from the Tyrells to be able to pay off the Iron Bank. So yeah, I mean, Tyrion might not actually have any money. Bran is the new Ollie. That's just facts. From Devin, Bran smoking that Hodor strain. You look beautiful that night you were mugged. Bran got in the zone for good. Arya is George R. R. Martin's wife's favorite character. Sansa is always on her period, says Jackson Samuel. Does Tyrion ever have any money? Oh, sorry about that. Hannibal O'Neill. Bran needs more Ritalin or less Ritalin or something. Now, since the Thrones, Bran is the most fascinating character. He has watched so much spent time on the Werewolves porn network that he's no longer capable of holding a normal conversation. He's like Jim Carrey's character in Batman Forever. And I know the Riddler, but no, he's Jim Carrey's character in Batman Forever when he's using that mind thingy mahoochie, whatever it's called, the brain TV, the box, I think it's called. And he sucks in everyone's mind. He's like, at the end, he's like, I know everything. Yep. And it might be late, but the reanimated Starks rising from the crypts would be awesome. I hope we get to that point. I think it would be cool. Can we get a shout out for the design sensibility of the White Walkers? And Bran is high on Jojen paste. Tywin said they were broke. He said the gold mines ran dry. The Bastard of America. Imagine a white Lyanna Stark chasing down in a crazy fury Jon forced to kill her, then coming face to face with Lyanna Stark, snapping out of rage. My boy out of confusion. I'm sorry, I'm just going speed round with the chat right now. These awful choices. None of these guys know how to party. I wonder what that human limb spiral they burned means in the occult. That is something for smarter Game of Thrones minds than me. I don't know exactly what that. I know that's the same symbol that was used when we see the Night King being made, and we've seen that symbol a lot of times since the beginning that we've seen them leave that. It could just be a fuck you symbol from them. It means fuck you in the White Walker language or something, or it could just have some significance to the end game of somehow has some connection to something. I don't think it does. I tend to think it's just going to be one of a somewhat of a surface thing. Just it happens to be a shape that symbolizes the White Walkers. There's no deeper meaning, but maybe there is, and maybe it has some significance. I'd love to hear what some other theory crafters think about shit like that. Limb spirals aren't that nuanced. It's tough to get the angles correct. Yes, let's make a spiral from human limbs, burn it just for the kicks of it. It's related to their religion, seven-faced God, seven spirals, says Bot. Phil, you should put the spiral on your wheel. I should get a wheel that's just that spiral. It's to praise. I think that Cersei prophecy has consumed her to believe that she needs to kill both her younger brothers. I think that is an interesting way, and I think that's part of the way she's always looking for reasons to not trust Jaime here at the end too, and was like looking for ways to kind of push him away. And I do think that is part of her straight up mindset is thinking always that the brothers are trying to kill me. It's why she has a problem with Daenerys. Now that Marjorie's gone, she's thinking that Daenerys is the younger princess that's going to destroy her too. Feel that symbol is proof that Bloodraven equals Brandon Rivers equals the Night King. He is the true heir to the throne, says Devil May Cry. Yang It Yin says, I think that I already read that one. Jon is looking at Lyanna's grave in the promo. And lots of good stuff. A real Harry Potter twist. A good point on the hit being on both of them. So on that note, I'm going to call this a live stream. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in today. A couple more in the live chat just popped in. A spiral-themed ice cream cake. I would eat that. Carvel. Anyone think it was weird when Bran warged into Rhaegal and watched Jon and Dany kiss? I've heard a couple things. I've heard someone say that was the Night King too. Cersei boning urine is a clear sign she's over Jaime and knowing that she wanted to kill him. And it was convenient that right after that point or right before that point that she sends out the hit on Jaime because she's like, oh, okay, so I can fuck someone that's not in my family and be okay. The Starks statues in the crypts usually have a direwolf next to them and a steel sword laying across the laps to keep the bad spirits at bay, says Girl Nettle. Fandom D Saint says, writers said that the Night King then adopted the symbol as a sort of blasphemy, like Satan with the upside down cross, making the eight ice cream. Bye sexy Phil. Oh, thank you, Betha. Again, I love people threatening me with a good time. Thank you, Betha. Thank you, Susie of House Maven. Analysis of Thrones. Do you think we'll get another scene of Grey Worm eating Missandei out? And is that a good thing or a bad thing? Don't put me in situations like that. We have very few episodes left, but you asking me if I want to see that again with Missandei being, oh my goodness. No. Please don't have any more Grey Worm sex scenes. We don't need that. We don't have time for that. We can rewind that. Do you watch the show drunk? No, I do not I don't watch it drunk. So I can take notes and I can clearly watch it. I actually don't smoke or drink before it, just after and while I'm doing the podcast. But watching it, no, I don't. But it's tough because it's one of those things like, do you study for the test in the way that you do the test? Zancy says, have a great night, Phil. So happy to be back here with the live motherfucking chat. With all the drinking Cersei's going to do, the baby is fucked. The Game of Thrones podcast, Phil. Oh, the best Game of Thrones podcast, in my opinion, the after is Phil. Oh, Carmine and Preston are the fucking best. Great shit. Love their fucking show. With all the drinking Cersei, yeah. I want to see White Rob with Grey Wind's head. Oh, that'd be amazing. We don't need any sex scenes. We need action. We've had Game of Thrones sex scenes. It's fun. We got our titty quotient in the last episode. That was cool. Litter them in here and there. But I want to see balls to the wall action and that. I don't need another Missandei and Grey Worm sex scene. We know. Phil, I told them to put Grey Worm and Missandei makeup sex scenes for you. What happens when a decrepit rubs up against the non-existent? Jon and Daenerys need to bone before the war. Make out. We need it. I could do without more Grey Worm pee hole lying. Dany is a fidget next to Sansa. Good fortune in the episodes to come, everybody. I will be back this Sunday evening with Joe Dirtylocks and the lovely Miss Katie Crow to recap the next episode. And I'll be back next week with Kyle Azora Hype to do another feedback show, and I'll try to get out to do a breakdown of the trailer basically an alone show, because I do like to do one alone show, because as much as I do love having guests, I can talk a lot and I have a lot of fun babbling to you guys. So sometimes it's fun to just do a 2-hour just me talking alone episode. So Joe will be drunk. We'll be having some fun, having some drinks. Come join us. Enjoy it. We'll have a nice babble fest. Call on in. We'll have a call-in line. And also the voicemail and the text line to leave for next week's show. So any point in time you want, you can leave a voicemail or text, 781-990-8509. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Thank you to all of our friends that popped on in here. Thank you to Devin. Thank you to Carmine. Thank you to Up in Smoke, to Catherine, Kyle, Gemma, the Finn, Icy Fury, Betha. Lots of love to Betha. Lots of love to Callie, lots of love to Santovia Major, Jackson, Girl Netta, amazing voicemail, Batsu, great to see you, Joseph, and of course if I forget to mention you, it means, I don't love you. No, I'm sorry, it means I love you too. Blanco, great to see you too, Bloody Talker, thanks for lots of amazing messages tonight. Jack Me Off, oh yeah, do we have a Jack Me Off in there? Everyone, happy 420 to all you fucking hippie bastards tomorrow. Celebrate your hippie holiday well. Oh yes. Good night. Jack Me Off. Happy 420 all.